All right, y'all. We back once again for another episode, for another day of conversation, for another day of arguing,
Real arguing at this time.
for another day of niggas being niggas. Clearly, I'm not prepared clothing-wise for the situation because I wasn't warned.
That's not true either.
Or maybe I just didn't care enough.
That's true.
Okay, so let's get to it. So we're going to talk about The Crash, the documentary. If you guys aren't familiar with what The Crash is on Netflix, I'm not going to ruin it for you. So you should just tune in and watch it. But overall basis of the story.
Okay. So no pre-production.
Say that again?
I said he bring it in. I'll explain the story.
Oh, you did say that. Niggas be a little
And do y'all want him as y'all lawyer or me? Just
Niggas
looking
be
at
a
it.
little-
John,
niggas be a little
you've been in a
retarded.
situation before.
Come on, brother.
I be a little off edge
Come on, brother.
sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes the crazy lawyer is the good lawyer.
Who would you want representing you?
Well, clearly,
I just first
clearly
look.
the one
If
dressed
he
up
walked
for
into
it.
the courthouse, this was your
Clearly the
lawyer.
one dressed up for
You would have thought that was your
Yeah.
Cody.
it. Like,
Wait, he represented me.
I hope not.
And just to be frank, John has not seen the documentary on Netflix. Kevin and I have.
Yes.
And we're trying to get this out as quick as possible. I'll read the short summary from time.com. In the early morning of July 31st, 2022, 17-year-old Mackenzie Trilla drove her boyfriend, 20-year-old Dominic Russo, and his friend, 19-year-old Davion Flanagan, home from a high school graduation party. The unthinkable happened after turning down a long stretch of a quiet residential road in Strongsville, Ohio. Trilla accelerated her Toyota Camry to 100 miles per hour before slamming the vehicle head on to a brick building, killing both passengers and critically injuring herself. I don't really like this one, but I'll read it. The terrifying wreck sent shockwaves throughout the tight-knit community. When emergency responders arrived, they found a mangled mess of metal with all three people unconscious and two people dead on arrival. Trilla was airlifted to a local hospital where she underwent multiple surgeries, but as detectives looked further into the case and discovered she had no memory of the tragedy, a new, more haunting question emerged. After sorting through the evidence, prosecutors eventually charged Trilla with murder, claiming she intentionally caused the crash after a relationship with Russo had unraveled. As part of her defense, Trilla's lawyer argued that Mackenzie, who declined to testify, had suffered from a blood pressure disorder called POTS, which caused momentary blackouts. In 2023 bench trial, a Cuyahoga county judge found her guilty on multiple counts, labeling her actions as controlled, methodical, deliberate, intentional, and purposeful. Before sentencing her to life in prison for parole after 15 years, she also said that she was lucky to get out. All of this is going to be just bias and whatever, but
What
yeah.
a nasty bitch.
So, you heard it. You understand? Do you have any questions?
So just to sum it up, she's 17. She picked up her boyfriend and his friend from a high school graduation party. She was driving, made a turn, down a turn, slammed into a brick wall after accelerating to 100-something miles per hour.
Correct.
Both of them were dead on arrival. She was okay. They saying it was
I
intentional.
would not
okay.
say okay. She was
Alright,
airlifted
she
and
was-
she had multiple surgeries.
She didn't die. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, she survived.
She
She
survived.
Correct.
Yeah, not okay. But she also suffers from something called PODS, which
yeah.
causes blackouts, momentary blackouts.
Correct. That was her defense's legal
That was the argument.
argument
That they try to
that her lawyer made
use.
in real life, which tried to explain why she did not remember the points of the crash and what happened.
Because if you blacked out, and it's not like with a disease like that, you could tell when or how long is the blackout.
Correct. Do you have any questions before I added my disclaimer?
No questions.
My disclaimer is here. I am not here. This is like a retrial. I'm not here arguing the same points that her lawyer made. I'm here arguing the points are based on just the documentary itself.
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes, same
There
thing.
you go, brother.
No, you start. You can start.
No, that's how the prosecution starts. I know you're familiar with the court systems.
Not too much.
Family court.
Not as much as bodies, but
Yeah, you have to start first, but I'm gonna let you know now.
I did do mock trial in high school. But so my argument is that she's guilty, 100% guilty.
Right.
Of murder in the first degree.
After
2 counts of murder.
correct, 2 counts of murder. My argument is that she's 100% guilty after all the facts and evidence that was given.
Gotcha.
And just for the pure fact that all of the bases that her defense team was trying to bring up to defend the fact that this was not an intentional thing, A, they don't add up. B, they were proven to not be a cause of the crash or the incident. And C, no, there is no C. A and B is what it is.
A was
the facts given that the medical conditions or whatever did not have an effect on the crash, and B, also they was trying to state the fact that they was trying to say that the car was faulty, that the car and the brakes were faulty, which they also proved was not true. There was just too much evidence to prove that she was guilty.
the evidence and arguments.
The evidence and like it was just way too many facts and evidence that the prosecution provided to prove that she was guilty. Like the defense team, when they was trying to use the medical condition, it didn't.
Was the argument not good enough, or did they bring in like a medical examiner that was able to say?
They didn't show that in the documentary, if I remember.
Your Honor, I object.
Bro, I'm not about to sit here and
What I would say is that I'm not arguing the fact that she's guilty or not guilty. I'm arguing that 2 counts of murder are the incorrect charges that were filed against her. Okay. Right?
How so?
Because I think that you laid it out what you feel, but the facts or what they showed in the documentary, which is important that you said, because they don't show all of the facts in the documentary. Show everything
because there's different documentaries, but
correct.
And the one on Netflix specifically.
Correct. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. So they made let's say a right-hand turn off of a freeway going down the side road. In the road, I'm going to paint the picture. Once they make that right turn, it's this, it
curves.
It's a longer road, but at the end of it, it's a slight curve. Not like a turn, like you got a turn. It's a, if you've ever been in front of a wheel, right? They also have the black box from the vehicle.
Correct.
That says that the gas pedal was on 100% acceleration. And she did not attempt to brake at all. That's the alleged, right?
Okay.
Also, when the cops arrived, they found drugs. They found mushrooms, and they also found weed.
Yeah.
And her possession, of Mackenzie's possession.
Was it in her system? Sorry.
And this is why when you said that they found a medical examiner, there was a lot of just different things. And I'll answer that. In the position that they found her, her head was actually under the wheel.
The dashboard.
She was like folded over, and the other 2 gentlemen had already perished in the vehicle.
The one nigga from the back was in the front.
Correct.
Like when they crashed, the nigga was like on top. Flew to the front.
The beautiful thing, I'm not going to say beautiful, because as a doc lover, that they actually got actual footage of the incident. I love
real footage.
And like they showed the actual crash. It wasn't like
crash.
mangled. They show the actual crash. And it'll paint the picture a lot more when you see it, right? But one thing that the cops said is that the car is split in 2.
Yeah.
And they tried to say that it was her intention that she was trying to commit murder. The car is split in 2.
Like down the middle or something.
That's what the cop said. But if you see it, it's not split in 2. It's just really, really bad
wrecked.
debris.
Yeah,
it
really wasn't like split in 2.
It's really, really wrecked. And that kind of started a little bit of an interesting feeling, because they found the drugs. Now they were trying to figure out, okay, what is this? Why did this happen? What's going on? Mackenzie, of course, she was airlifted. She didn't remember anything when they went to go speak to her. And they tried to speak to people who were with them that night. They say it was a graduation party in all of the articles. Correct, but the people that were there say it was just a get-together.
It was just a get-together, yeah.
It was no more than like 5, 6 people. Yeah. To me, that's not a party. That's us here in the room plus 2 more.
Lo
What was it around graduation time, though? Because that might not be a party.
They had just finished.
They graduated.
They graduated already.
They graduated about a month before.
After graduation, post-graduation.
Which is why it to me is like, they said that they did it every weekend, which to me is not a party. There was no invite sent or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So, and they were pretty much drug users. If you ask me, the boyfriend Dominic, who's 20 years old, by the way, she's 17. The parents is fucking crazy for that.
Agree.
The parents, they was living by themselves. They was in their own couple, about to get married, their own time, and you're not lying. And she used to take videos of herself every morning smoking weed
all the time
on a bong, whatever. That was her thing. They also have TikToks from years prior. That was her thing, right? That still doesn't show me anything aside from nothing that happened that night. You can try to paint a character, but that doesn't show me anything. And also, the reason why they try to say it's murder now is because they had a rocky relationship at times. But I'm asking you, what relationship isn't rocky?
Wait, so are you arguing the fact that it wasn't intentionally meant?
Brother, this is entertainment. I can't tell you more argument until the end of the episode.
The way to me,
I'm just arguing the facts about how the Netflix documentary painted it out, and I was like, this is bullshit so many times.
Well, yeah, I mean, they was obviously going against the character like flaw of who she was.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like she's this girl. She wants to be in the limelight. You know, she's taking all these videos and TikToks, and she's smoking, and she's doing all her makeup, and she's dressed very like provocative. Like they was just painting a bad picture about her, which you can understand. Which I get what he's trying to say. Like
The worse the character looks,
yeah,
it's
like
easier
so
to
it
charge you
doesn't
with murder.
Not even. It's just remember, you gotta sway a jury. It's really less about the facts. It's about what the jury's gonna believe. You know what I mean? It's not about what's the famous saying? It's not about what is it? It's not about what you know, but what you can prove in court.
Correct.
Some shit like that, right?
And that's where I think that the prosecution lacked a lot of things in court. You have the black box determination. You have the reconstruction of the crash. You didn't really need it if you had the fucking video, I think. But I didn't want to cut you off, so you can continue.
So to his point, like even aside from all of that, right? Like I said, like the defense was trying to make all this medical shit going on, like as far as like the pods and this, that, and the third. And they didn't. I can't recall. So don't quote me on this. I can't recall if they showed the medical examiner, but they were saying based on the investigation, like there's no proof. Like you can't prove that you blacked out because then this is what they said, right? Based on the lack of having a medical examiner or not being able to prove if she did have POTS or if it like was triggered, was the fact that the distance between when she made that turn and to where the brick wall was at, she would have been messed up driving, especially with the swerves and the curves on the road.
She could not have been passed out.
She could have not passed out and not already have crashed.
Because she had to.
Before, you would have to be conscious enough to make
and
those
she had
turns.
to be physically accelerating the gas pedal.
So, I was just going off the facts. Like, all the stuff they was showing about her character, I didn't care. Because to me, it's like, just prove to what the case is about. If you want to show she's just a bad person, whatever, that's going to sway the opinions. Like, oh, you know what? She definitely did it. Look at who this person is.
Correct.
Me, personally, I didn't care for that.
What they displayed was just a bad character.
Correct.
Person.
They were just showing bad character, like, traits.
And what I would say to answer your question, that they found mushrooms and weed in her possession, but what they tested her for it. And she was negative for the mushrooms. She had weed in her system.
But they also had to go out of state to test it because that state that they was in, Ohio, they didn't test for the mushroom chemical.
Which is okay.
So they had to send it out to another lab, but they also shown that it wasn't even in her system.
Correct. And you could try to say, oh, maybe weed was in her system that affected it, but there was 2 eyewitnesses who said that she did not smoke that night.
And we stayed in system for a long time.
Yeah, that's what they was. That's what they were saying.
They said that she quit smoking,
and they found weed in her system, but we stays in system for a long time.
And that's where that goes. So that was just to answer your question, right? Okay. And then now I'm taking notes because I told you to come prepared, Kevin.
I'm prepared.
So she was 17, had an older boyfriend who was 20,
who was a drug dealer. I believe he was a drug dealer.
Influenced her to be a drug user as well.
I think she was just getting her supply from her man's, but he was clearly a drug dealer. They had a scale. They found a scale in the possession as well. So. In the vehicle.
Well, the I don't know if they said it in Netflix. The information I was about to say, so I can't say it.
You could try. It's okay.
I was gonna say the friend said that they text the girl to ask
if she could bring. No, that was in there. Yeah, that was in there. That was in there. If you could bring
mushrooms or whatever.
And they never ended up taking the mushrooms because they said it was too late.
It was too late. Yes.
In the evening,
it would have been pointless.
Mind you, that evening the girl was sleeping the entire night.
Correct.
They just woke up and was like, "Yo, we about to leave."
About to dip. It was like 3 a.m. or whatever.
Correct. Well, I would say like 5.
5.
It
yeah,
happened at 5.
Give or take.
So from the beginning, the investigators, the very next day after the crash, when she's conscious, they go ahead and interrogate her, but from her hospital bed.
Mm-hmm.
Also, 2 friends came in offering information to the investigators, and the information that they offered was the Life 360 app that tracks the time. I had the Life 360 app. That don't prove nothing aside from what time I arrived someplace, what time I left someplace, and possibly my speed. All those things don't add anything because you have the black box and the video.
It doesn't help anything.
I mean, it doesn't help anything. It doesn't add to anything. Also, they also alleged psychedelics, which gave the reason for them to do the testing and everything like that. On top of that.
Oh, they said that she might have took psychedelics, the mushrooms.
Months later, the mom's friend magically appears and says that weeks before that, about 2 weeks before that, Mackenzie and Dominic got into an argument.
Yeah.
And Dominic called his mom and said, "Mom, I need you to come help us. We're driving on the highway, and Mackenzie's trying to crash the vehicle."
Yeah.
And the guy calls Dominic, and he claims that he hears Mackenzie in the back saying, "I'll crash the shit right now."
Wait. Who brought this up? You said
The mom's friend came to the...
Which mom? Dominic's?
Dominic's mom.
Yes.
Is the boyfriend who died?
Yes.
Dominic's mom.
Mom came to the actual
Dominic's
police
mom's
station.
friend.
Yeah, but Dominic's mom's friend came to the police station and said
she heard that.
Said that, no, this is an event that occurred 2 weeks prior to the actual crash. And that she was trying to crash the car then.
And the phone call was made to her or the mom, and she overheard the phone call?
The phone call was made to... Who's her?
The phone call was made to Dominic's mom directly or Dominic's mom's friend?
I would say both.
Yeah.
Dominic called his mom first, and then Dominic's friend's mom called him. So it was 2 phone calls. And he claims that he heard Mackenzie saying all of that shit. However, at the end of the... I don't know if I could say this. And I don't know if this spoils anything for you. Or would you like to spoil?
No, yeah, go ahead.
At the very last 10 seconds of that thing,
It
showed text messages of Mackenzie texting Dominic's mom saying, "Your son tried to kill me on the highway. He tried to crash the car. Please help, or you know what happened." And she did not say, if I say, "Yo, John, you stole from my house," you would say, "No, I didn't. I didn't steal from your house because whatever, if you didn't do it." Now, if I be like, "Yo, John, you stole from my house. I got it on camera," and you know that you're caught, you wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different type of response. She responded in a way where she knew what happened. She knew that was the case. And it seemed like everyone kept popping out of the woodworks, offering testimony that didn't really align to what was happening. They tried to say that she intentionally killed these 2 people, or Davion was in the backseat, he was just a friend.
Just a bystander.
They tried to say that there was an argument in the vehicle from the time they made the turn to where she accelerated and it's like, "Oh, fuck it, we're going to end this whole thing." But how do you improve that intentional murder?
Can't.
Do you think that she was suicidal? Do you think that she was suicidal?
No, because there was no signs of showing suicide from what they were showing us.
I don't agree. I don't disagree either.
There was nothing that showed like she was willing to give up her life.
So my thing is, how can you truly believe that murder was on her mind going 100 miles an hour into a brick wall? You've driven in a car before.
Oh, I don't think murder was on her mind. I'm just saying her being charged for murder is the right thing.
I disagree.
What would she be charged for?
You know what I
manslaughter?
think? And now we hear yes.
I was gonna say that vehicular manslaughter.
Vehicular manslaughter, 2 counts.
What's the difference of the two?
Because one is intent to kill, and one is you kill someone by accident.
Yes, not
so it's
without,
like
yes.
if you,
but that wasn't an accident.
That's what it could have been if this is the sex. All right, so
but then you have to say intention. So if she's not suicidal, but if she's not suicidal and it wasn't an accident, it was intentional, which means she was suicidal, and she meant to kill him. So see how it just crosses over.
So like a scenario like if someone is drunk driving.
Let me just search the definition of those two. I don't know exactly what they are.
While you're doing that, right? What I would say is that murder in the first degree carries 25 to life.
Yeah.
She was sentenced to life on 2 counts.
Damn.
Manslaughter sentence in Ohio ranges from voluntary manslaughter. First degree felony in Ohio ranges from 3 years to 11 years, which is a big difference. For you could be facing minimum 6 years for 2 counts, maximum 22 years, as opposed to now getting sentenced to life.
Double life. And now getting parole availability at 15 years, which is likely going to be declined. So what do you think is the scenario that happened? Do you think?
Do you want to?
Do you think?
I mean, do you want to answer your?
I was gonna say, let me read them.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Vehicular manslaughter is the crime of causing the death of another person through the unlawful, negligent, or reckless operation of a motor vehicle. It specifically applies when the death occurs without intent to kill, malice, aforethought, making it a form of involuntary manslaughter rather than murder. Okay. Murder in the first degree murder is the most serious classification of criminal homicide, generally defined as an intentional killing that is willfully and premeditated, planned in advance, or one committed during the commission of a dangerous felony. I guess it's a tough one.
But
If murder wasn't on her mind, then yeah. But
Like if we going,
if suicide wasn't on her mind, if you don't believe it, then this murder.
If we going technicality for technicality,
you
I could
have
see,
to in this
I could,
situation.
No, I know. I'm saying I could see why there's a very, very, very thin line because of her actions and because of the facts, that doesn't classify as an accident. What she did.
I think it counts as negligence, right? Because I'm gonna tell you this. This is where my theory to answer your question. We've all been in a car. I've been in a car. I'm not gonna say where I was in the car, where I wasn't the driver, and niggas be on the highway. See how fast this bitch go. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We out. We hit 100, 110, 120. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? We've done it before. I've done that before in the driver's seat at times. I'm lying. Bleep that shit.
I'm looking at it like, niggas did that with you in the car, nigga? I would have hit it, nigga. Why you better stop this vehicle?
I've been in the passenger seat. I've raced with other vehicles. 4:00 in the morning, different states. I've done that shit. I think that was say I won't push that shit. Say it won't go down. And I think she lost track or she didn't know because what happens is when you're going down that road, you can't continue going straight. Once you get to that end, it's a stop sign and you can only go left or right.
Yeah.
And I think before she realized that you can't go straight anymore, it was too late, which is why she crashed into that. She jumped the curb, crashed into that building. It was done. I don't know if you've been in a car, but it's really hard to stop a car at 100 miles an hour.
To me, that would only make sense if there was signs that she actually tried to break the car.
And that's where it goes to my next point. I watched the video back. I slowed that shit down. I heard it break. I heard it screech. And I also saw the red light come on.
On the back?
You got to watch it at the very thing. And then also, I think how reliable is the black box? I just only did this because,
I don't know. Because
from the documentary, I didn't do any more research.
I don't know.
So how reliable is that black box? And when does it stop recording of an accident? Because
and if there's a delay, is there like an offset delay?
Correct.
I don't know.
You have to be braking for more than a second or two for it to be recorded on the black box versus you tapping the brake at last second.
Yeah, like what's the parameters around it? I don't know.
But even then, right? Like 100 miles per hour, and I think it was about like 100 feet until she got there. You could kind of see
100 feet, 100 miles.
Was it 100 feet? No. Like how far was it?
Let me be honest with you. Pitchers on the pitcher mound throw from what? 45, 60? They throw 100 miles an hour. That gets there in 1.2, 1.5, 2 seconds sometimes. That's pretty fucking quick.
No, it is, but I'm trying to figure. I forget what the distance was. How far she was.
I have no
I don't
idea.
know.
I'll be honest.
But
with you.
just looking on the video, right? Like you could see, like it's just like when you're driving, like you could see when a car is ahead, right? Like, and if you're driving 90 miles per hour or even 70 miles per hour, you can see that car ahead. You know, at some point, all right, bet I need to brake a little bit earlier because this car is going way too fast. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute for the car to decelerate. You know what I mean?
That's with a vehicle in front of you. When you just got nothing but open road.
But even maybe all right, maybe it's
I've
dark.
Driven, I've driven and I was like, whoa, I haven't seen that shit.
No, I've been there. Trust me,
oh.
I've been there. I've been there before too. Like I was like, oh shit.
I haven't seen that shit. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough one.
It's truly a tough one.
But look at these other
charges.
Look at these other parts to it to vehicular manslaughter.
Okay.
They're saying the levels of severity. All right, there's 3 of them. The exact charges and penalties vary significantly by jurisdiction, but they are generally divided into specific tiers. 1, ordinary, simple negligence, often charged when the driver commits a traffic violation or fails to use ordinary caution resulting in death. That's like speeding, passing a red light, not stopping at a stop sign. You know what I mean?
She fucked up all of those.
This is frequently a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail. Gross and criminal negligence applies when the driver acts with reckless disregard for human life, showing an extreme lack of care, street racing, or excessive speeding. This is almost universally a felony carrying potential state prison time. So I think this is where things get combined, but I'm going to read the 3rd tier. DUI or intoxication, vehicular homicide, driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs that results in a fatality. This typically carries the harshest mandatory minimum sentences. So now, I don't remember if they said that the weed was tested in her system still while she was driving, correct?
It was positive.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that adds on to it. And now when we go back to
any lawyer would disagree with that. And I get what you're saying, but any lawyer would disagree with that because you had 2 witnesses who said they did not drink. I mean, they didn't smoke. She didn't smoke.
Yes, but it's also, you could also fight the fact that it's about the time period. You didn't see them smoke at that time. You don't know what happened when they left.
They could have smoked in the car.
They could have smoked in the car, which she had many videos smoking in the car, which
True.
is why I think they were showing that a lot.
And this is why I think, right, when we talk about like murder cases or when we talk about cases, criminal cases in general,
So
it is.
and my fault, not
No,
to
you
cut
good,
you
you
off.
good, you good.
I think that's where the thin line is, where it ties into the first degree murder, because it says or one committed during the commission of a dangerous felony. A gross criminal negligence tier of vehicular manslaughter is considered a felony, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the thin line might be. I'm just trying to use the context of the
But
technicalities.
it's still under vehicular
It's still
manslaughter.
under-
not-
yeah,
not
I know,
murder.
but that becomes a felony if it's a gross and criminal negligence, which could then probably transfer into the first degree murder. You get what I mean? I don't know. I'm
think
not a
that's
lawyer.
I get what you're saying. I think that's
Because
a
the
separate
first degree
charge.
murders with intent.
Yeah, you have to prove that, and no one in that car could prove that except from the 3 people that were in that vehicle. 2 have unfortunately passed away.
This case was tough because again, it's not about the facts. Like, it's what you could prove in court.
So
you
the
know what I mean?
testimonies that
So
were
to
coming
the
up-
jury, they're looking at this from a very emotional standpoint.
Yeah.
So like,
Was there even a jury? I don't know if it was a jury. I thought it was a judge.
whoever,
presiding. I have no
I don't
idea.
even. Yeah, there probably wasn't. But to the judge, right? At the end of the day, the judge is the one who makes the final call. The judge is going to look at it from a very emotional, and a morale standpoint.
Yeah.
Like, so okay, maybe we can't prove the intent for suicide or the intent for murder, right? We can't prove it. There's no signs of suicide. There's no letters. There's no notes. She wasn't cutting herself. Like, there's no evidence of
Fact.
it.
She
right?
chose a bench trial, which would mean she was determined a judge, not a jury.
Okay.
And
Right.
yeah, I would have chosen.
So we can't prove the intent of suicide or the intent for murder, right? Other than the text messages, which is a little flip floppy because it also shows that Dom was saying that she said that Dom wanted to crash the car. So now it's hearsay, like, because now we
which
don't,
can be thrown out.
which could be thrown out.
And
Yeah,
that's what I was
so-
gonna say. In order to prove criminal intent, you have to. There's a prosecutor. The burden is on the prosecutor to prove.
Yeah, and you have to prove the
doubt.
premeditation.
Correct.
Right?
And then, I mean,
which is hard to
Correct.
prove.
Correct.
So I think that's where it gets tricky because the manslaughter is like, there's no intent,
Yeah.
but so they can't prove the intent.
You could
I
prove
gotta-
intent by negligence. I mean, that's
But that's what I'm
with
saying. So I
manslaughter.
think that's what they was trying to argue with the black box.
Well-
Like, that's the proof of the negligence that you didn't even try to stop.
But
and
that's
it
not
shows-
proof of intent.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's the tricky part. You
And-
can't prove the intent.
Did her team ever argue that, like, did she ever bring it forward that he tried to kill her prior in the?
You know what's crazy? In that documentary, I didn't hear maybe more than 2 or 3 minutes from her defense team.
I think the only argument they was trying to fight was just
They were trying to
medical-
prove her character.
this character. Like, they kept
Well,
using that.
Prosecution kept using her character.
The character.
and
Because
they
it's
kept
hard
using
to prove
medical.
the intent.
Correct.
So if they show the character flaws, that would sway a judge to believe, yeah, you probably did this on purpose.
Correct. I just truly think that when I put on my Instagram, what do we feel about it? Guilty, not guilty, deserves another charge. I don't know. It was an outstanding amount of people, about 30 people, 35 people who chose guilty, and only 2 people chose another charge. So if you feel like she's guilty of murder, you stand on it. But I feel like I just presented a case to where she should be not guilty of murder.
I just think it's
And
tricky.
she
That's
had
what
a
I'm saying.
bad defense attorney, and also the judge bias.
Also, I was gonna say this: if he did try to kill her prior, right, in the car, and they are driving, what if they got into an argument and he like fucking put his foot over hers? So
But
like,
it's
fuck, I'm gonna
hearsay-
kill both of us.
It's hearsay, so like it can't be proven. Like, it's all text messages.
And-
Because the hearsay of Dom saying the call to his mom, and then the mom's friend saying that, oh, she said she would crash this shit, like he's trying to get her out the house or whatever.
I need the
and then the text
files.
messages from her saying that Dom was the one who said, like, it's all hearsay. So they're gonna throw that bullshit
Yeah,
out.
because did they
You know
ever
what I mean?
show those call logs or did they ever present those text messages
In the
court?
documentary, no.
No.
Probably in court, I don't know. But
They
and
couldn't
also
have,
one thing
they
I did
couldn't
think-
have if she got charged with murder.
the black
Couldn't
box
have.
also said that they switched to gears, that the gears were switched.
Okay.
From neutral, reverse, or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I don't even know how the fuck you do that shit. So I'm just trying to.
I thought you
imagine
can't
it.
do that unless
Yeah.
you break.
I digress.
I didn't know that
Your
part.
Honor, these
I
are
didn't know that part in the black box. They only talked about the speed.
Your Honor, these are the facts in my case.
You heard?
I hope you do find Mackenzie Shriller not guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder.
So then you would say it's 2 counts of vehicular
homicide.
manslaughter? That's what I'm saying. It's tricky. I'm just looking at the technicalities
That
and the
changes
facts.
your life.
It does. I agree. It does change. I'm just saying
The sentencing is way different, like he said.
the technicalities of what they're saying, because it was probably a gross criminal negligence of vehicular manslaughter, which becomes a felony, then that becomes like they probably tie that into the first degree murder.
Yeah. I just think they didn't like the girl. The girl was, let me tell you, the girl could be really not likable.
Yes.
She could be seen as a white girl trying to act black,
see
a white girl trying to act out, but it clearly showed to me that they didn't like the girl, the girl's friend, the guy friend, and the 2 parents.
But as a good team, all they had to do was prove that she had bad characteristics.
And I think that's the problem with the justice system. I don't give a fuck who I am. We're talking about the situation at hand.
Yeah.
If I'm a bad person and someone comes and attacks me now and I kill them, don't give a fuck what happened the 5 years prior to that, all my videos. Talk about the situation at hand. My character's not on trial. It shouldn't be on trial.
Yeah.
What happened should be. And I think that, unfortunately, in this case,
You know, that's why they ask you that in jury duty. Like, would your opinions...
Yeah, be persuaded, yeah.
Would your opinions be persuaded... would you be persuaded by opinions to go against the facts of the case? And
Hell no.
they'll tell you to... That's what I'm saying.
I like
But
to argue.
some people will say yes. And it's like, all right, so you can't... So you can't be here.
Be like,
Because if you're persuaded by
yeah,
the
I got
opinions...
family who was incarcerated.
Yeah. If you're persuaded by the opinions,
Send
then
me
you don't
right
care
home.
about the facts of the case. And like you said, that's the flaw of the system. We're going by the facts, not... I mean, that's what they're saying about the whole Diddy shit.
oh my God, let's not talk about this.
I'm just saying.
No,
I'm
I
just saying
agree.
in
No, I
general,
agree
like,
with Diddy. That's
niggas is saying, y'all just talking about his character. Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about the actual charges.
Yeah,
you
nigga
know?
said he had
So-
enough. Nigga said his shit was no bigger than his fist. Couldn't even see it in his hand. So nigga said,
Yo, chat, Netflix documentarians. I hope y'all all enjoyed. Comment below.
Yeah.
Follow, subscribe,
tune in and don't drive reckless.
nah, Jordy, you ate that up.
Do we want to have a part 2 when John has come back with his
We
stuff?
should, like, an after review, yeah.
Let's do it.
Nah, you
Let's
ate
do
that
it.
up, bro.
After
I think you persuaded me.
That's his job.
I mean,
that's his job.
that's the job of the defense attorney.
It is. Yeah.
Going with Potts was such a dumbass fucking argument.
But this I didn't
I don't think so, because I was like, oh shit, you
I
can't
didn't
prove
think
that.
You know how I persuaded him? I wore the suit.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely it's the presentation.
Yo, I had the notepad too.
I didn't think that was. I thought we got no.
I took that shit last night.
We texted each other. I was like, let's not discuss it because I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I didn't know his argument was